All right, well, our players
Yep.
are ready to go, so let's head down to the action. We've got the top 8 Applechips versus Ambivalent Thoughts. All right, welcome everyone to the top 8. We've got Applechips at the bottom of your screen on the 4-color Valkyries, let's call it. And we've got Ambivalent Thoughts at the top of your screen on Stonescar. I think I call it mid-range, probably most apt. It's not really an aggro deck, this one.
Yeah, we'll see here what they end up deciding to take here. They could take the Stone Hammer to stop some early plunder, or they can consider taking the tower, since that's probably one of the things that they struggle dealing with. I think those are typically probably the best 2 picks for them. The salvo isn't really going to do anything on its own. It's going to need a little bit of help to kind of get something. And yeah, sure enough, we see the tower go down there.
And not really the best time to draw your Krull, but sometimes that happens.
Yeah, I mean, once again, we saw that Applechips does have a strategy in place to kind of deal with that, both being able to throw it in the market as well as just being able to tuck it back into the deck. So we'll see. I think adjusting, if you are going to take the risk of running Crawl in your deck, you do have to have some kind of alternate strategies or safety nets for when you draw them at opportune times, or you're just not able to play them. And obviously, this deck not really being the kind of deck that wants to get up to the kind of power to just
Right.
hard cast Crawl.
Yeah, probably not something we're going to see much in this deck, I wouldn't think.
I mean, you can cast it. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen very often, but I think sometimes people just forget, and then they look down, they're like, oh, wow, I guess I am at 7 power. So here, they went ahead and exchanged, grabbed an exploit of their own. They're going to go ahead and double stack those salvos and not go to the market with the second one, just wanting to get that Molder Muck off the board.
Look at this hand for Ambivalent Thoughts. 3 copies of Impending Doom. Stuck on 3 power, though, not be able to deploy any threats at this point. They do have that Suffocate as well. Interesting that they didn't fire off the Suffocate. Was there a reason? Are they holding it for Reappropriator or something else? I mean, I feel like that Stonehammer is a good threat, but...
Oh man, and then Applechips not firing off the exploit there. I'm kind of waiting for them to exploit to see the triple Doom in their hand, plus the siege engine. So we'll see how that plays out.
So Ambivalent Thoughts, in fact, yes, suffocating the Reappropriator, holding it for the Reappropriator. But here comes Krull. So nice Suffocate, bro. Here's the Krull to get it right back. And then playing Darkwater Vines first and then firing off the exploit. And what that means is you're going to get the exploit, you're going to get the discard, and then you're going to trigger the Darkwater Vines. So pretty nice turn there for Applechips. Krull back your Reappropriator and get my value and take a card. Pretty nice value there.
Fantastic sequencing there from Applechips for certain. What do you take here? I mean,
guess one of the Dooms. I mean, I don't know. I could see it either way. I don't think. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I guess you get rid of one of the Flyers because they're the ones who are going to be able to answer you the most. But yeah, they have 2 backup copies, so it doesn't really matter. Oh man, another Krull. Oh, gotta love it. Firing on all cylinders here. Let's get that Deathwing back.
Yeah, if you want your deck to run smoothly, it's definitely in the top 8, and that's what's going on here.
No fear. Attacking in, says Applechips says, go ahead, eat one of my units, but I got more where that came from. Ooh, Suffocate taking out the Deathwing and not the Reappropriator there, attacking in. And now it's interesting because now Applechips, because of the 2 copies of Impending Doom, now Applechips is facing down Lethal on the other end.
Look it's crazy how quickly that swung by, and it's solid play from Ambivalent Thoughts as well, taking out that Deathwing because the Reappropriator has regen, but on its own it can't deal with these Doom.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, taking the deadly unit that also offers lifesteal is pretty solid here.
Yeah, heads up play there by Ambivalent Thoughts, turning the pressure on here. Oh, you got only attacking with one, leaving one back here. Not wanting to face lethal on the both backside because if Applechips had any way to discard, they would also have lethal. So both players having lethal here on both sides. Applechips, that's 10 life, gonna go for a Krull, get back that Deathwing. Oh boy, this is a close one here.
Yeah, this is going to be very close. Those siege trains just looking atrocious with those two regen units on the ground. So
How
I could
many
see why they haven't come down just yet.
How many
But
copies of Krull is Applechips? Applechips is running all 4 copies of Krull. So are we live for a Krull kill? It's unlikely because 3 of them are gone. So what's the hypergeometric calculator say with 52 cards in the deck? I'll look it up, but there is always the you got to be careful if you're Applechips because well, we're not yet though. I guess it's only 4 damage to the face now, but you got to be. It's risking taking. You can't really take this hit.
mm-hmm.
Ooh, take the hit. Okay.
Oh boy,
Right, display of menace.
is that lethal? They block the 3. They take yeah.
It is. There you go. Wow, that one was super close. Wow.
Very close. Very close.
Very close. Well, congrats to Applechips for taking that first one there. All right, this is Ambivalent Thoughts deck here, but both of these players well accomplished, doing very great things this season. Love to see the Titans of the game going at it in the top 8 here. As SRFS pointed out, the upcoming events, so we've got next Friday is going to be Throne. Then the following Wednesday, so not Tuesday, the following Wednesday after that is going to be the next Throne Challenge. Then we've got Friday, Tuesday, Expedition, and then that's it. That's the spring season. And then the Invitational right after that. So it's kind of crazy how fast this season has gone already. It feels like we just started, but we've only got, Friday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, and that's it. And the Invitational. And that Invitational is going to be stacked. It's pretty sweet.
Oh man, I gotta hurry up and spike one of these real quick.
Indeed, I did pull out the hypergeometric calculator. It was 1.9%. Just so you know, 1.9% to hit a Krull there.
Fair enough. I mean, they were on camera. If there was ever a time to do it, that was gonna be it, right?
Absolutely. All right, here we go. Let's get ready for game 2. I like this hand from Applechips.
Yeah, seems solid. You know, if there is some early aggression on the ground, they have that deep water vines to kind of hold the ground and whatnot. So the reappropriator does essentially the same thing. All right, there they go. So not too much to worry about in the early game, at least. See if they'll have time to set up. Sadly, they had that Krull in hand again, but
yeah, right.
a couple of times they have multiple ways of dealing with it. They could tuck it in the market right now with that salvo as well as putting it back on the top of the deck. So interesting there that Ambivalent Thoughts was willing to flash fry that the vines prior to dropping the sill on too, so they have a more aggressive start, or even the cut burst there.
For those of you in chat, I actually had forgotten about this until I was just talking to Jedi about it, but our bot does actually have a built-in hypergeometric calculator. So if you're familiar with those, you just type in !odds, and then you could put in the cards, number of successes, number of draws, and successes needed. If you're not familiar with that, go look up how to use a hypergeometric calculator. But yeah, you can just do !odds in the chat, put in those 4 numbers, and it'll tell you the odds of drawing whatever card you want. So pretty cool, useful tool there. I forgot that we had that available, but there you go.
Super neat.
Yeah, that's a useful, the boxer I know is a big math guy and talks about that in a lot of his, when building power bases and building decks. I know he talks a lot about get comfortable with the hypergeometric calculator. I know it's intimidating if you've never heard of it before, but it's actually relatively easy to use. So I know he's a big fan of using that when deck building. and thinking through games. Once you get a hang of it and you understand what it is, it's not that bad. Pretty good start here for Ambivalent Thoughts. Those Molder Mucks, we've seen this before though. They're pretty sweet, but they will turn into 1/1s here eventually. So Applechips could take care of that if they needed. Lots of interesting line here though. You play Reappropriator out, but that doesn't do a lot. You can know when to hold them to curl back something if you want, which is just always good value. And then your Blazing Salvo, I think you want to hold your Blazing Salvo until the Molder Mucks get a little smaller or until you get like a Sill or something else, because that's not really doing much on this board. So there we go. Know when to hold them to get back a Whispering Wind and also play out the Reappropriator. Seems like the best turn that they could have taken.
Yeah, I mean they used all their power, definitely maximized on things. If I remember, Applechips is not running Shoal Dredgers, so there's really
Correct.
nothing to go grab if you pitch a Kroll. But I mean, it is something. It is a unit. They have one Purveyor in the market, if I recall.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little bit of benefit to just start chunking units into the void as well.
Our
They can obviously go get
Heartstopper.
something cheaper with Salvo from the market.
I like the grab of Heartstopper here for Ambivalent Thoughts. Applechips' deck, I wouldn't say reliant, but uses a lot of discard in the deck, so grabbing Heartstopper is pretty sweet there. Unfortunately, can't grab it and deploy it before this Whispering Wind, but here comes that no wind to hold him. Nice draw there from that Whispering Wind off that power.
Yeah, really solid card to combo with Exploit as well.
Get another Kroll, just so much value here. Somewhere Doc is just having a field day watching all this Kroll value. Gonna pop the regen off the Vine Grafter with the Blazing Salvo to go to the market. Gonna grab an Exploit. Okay, well, that's smart because they know Ambivalent Thoughts just went to the market, so that's pretty sweet. That's like the best time to exploit. I'm gonna grab that Heartstopper. Huge play there by Applechips. Really heads up.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, that's so frustrating when that happens.
Yeah,
I mean, you're jumping up for joy for sure when you're the one exploiting. When you're the one getting exploited, it's like, huh?
Yeah. Tough one indeed. All right, attacking in. Moldermuck's going to do their damage. Applechips down to 8. But, yeah, next turn, not quite as good. I guess you can still go wide, though, but this Deathwing is going to have lifesteal, which is nice against 1/1 Moldermucks. Ooh, but that Inferno Down's going to take that out, yeah. It's pretty nice here. This is the downside of triggering Kroll 3 times, though.
Oh man,
ooh, nice.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Warped Lordstayer's Tower. That's going to get you a pair of 1/1s and I assume Curfew Enforcement. Or actually, do we just take out the site? Might be better to take out the site.
Yeah, I think so. Because you want to try to be able to shrink everything permanently, you know?
Oh, never mind. You can take out the site anyway. There's 4 attack. Yep, there's 4 attacks. Yeah. So the site can get taken out anyway. So free Curfew Enforcement there. Gonna shrink everything.
Yeah. I think I would have considered putting the +4 on the 1/2, swinging that to kill the site, leaving 3 blockers back, and then the following turn with a Valkyrie, shrink everything so it can't attack at all.
Yeah.
I think would have been one of the lines I was looking at. Don't know if it was correct or not, but I think.
Although I guess shrinking the Moldermucks by 1 pretty much does the same thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
So a couple crucial turns there for Applechips, and now Ambivalent Thoughts is empty-handed. Now we're going to see that +4/+4 on a Valkyrie. It's amazing how Applechips is doing all this with just 4 power.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. I mean, they still, and then they're about to. I mean, if they can protect this for one more turn, which it looks like they can.
Yeah.
Because what they'll have, a
Yeah,
Molder Muck attack, and a Sill attack.
that's it. Yeah, just those two because these attacks won't do anything. I mean, you could do it anyway just to get more units, but they're not going to do anything.
Yeah, and then plundering away a Krull was great. Gave them another power, got another card out of their hand, so there's a higher chance for the 6/6 to draw them a card.
All right, gonna play out the siege train.
Just a little too late, sadly, though. That overwhelm would have mattered with all this regen on the board. It looks like this is gonna be another
Yeah,
turn where they might be able to play
yeah,
all their
they
power.
can get the Rhoda and then play another tower. Oof, man, it's gross value. There's gonna be a ton of
Yeah.
damage too because you're gonna +4/+4 on the Stonehammer, and that has Berserk. That's 12 by itself. Is this just lethal?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nicely played. Wow.
We said it before. Pumping up a Berserk flying unit, those Stonehammers can do a ton of damage out of nowhere, and that's gonna be it. Applechips, congratulations, Applechips taking it 2-0 over